Imagine discovering that some of the greatest musicians in history all died at exactly the same age. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse. 5 icons, 5 tragic endings, 1 number, coincidence, a curse, or is there something almost nobody tells you about the infamous 27 Club? Because the biggest mystery isn't why these artists died, it's why millions of people became convinced there was a curse in the first place. The story begins in the early 1970s. Within less than a year, 3 of the biggest names in rock music were gone. Hendrix, Joplin, Morrison, all 27 years old. Fans noticed the coincidence. Newspapers mentioned it. For a brief moment, people wondered if something strange was happening. But then, life moved on. The headlines disappeared. And with them, so did the mystery. For almost 25 years, almost nobody talked about the 27 Club ever again. Then came April 1994. Seattle woke up to news that shocked the world. Kurt Cobain had been found dead inside his home. Within hours, television crews surrounded the property. Fans gathered outside in complete silence. Investigators carefully reconstructed the final hours of one of the biggest rock stars on the planet. As newspapers searched for answers, someone noticed one chilling detail. Cobain wasn't just another musician who had died too young, he was 27. Suddenly, people remembered Hendrix, Joplin, Morrison. 4 names, the same age. Overnight, an old coincidence became one of music's greatest mysteries. Once people saw the pattern, they couldn't stop looking. Fans searched through decades of music history, trying to find every famous musician who had died at 27. Every new name made the mystery feel stronger. It almost seemed impossible to ignore. But there was one problem. People had stopped following the evidence. Instead, they were choosing the evidence that fit the story. Our brains do this naturally. We are wired to find patterns. Even when those patterns don't actually exist, psychologists even have a name for it: apophenia, the tendency to see meaningful connections inside completely random events. Eventually, researchers decided to test the legend itself, not by looking at 5 musicians or 10, but by analyzing thousands of professional artists. The question was simple: do musicians actually die more often at 27? The answer surprised almost everyone. No, there was no statistical spike. Not at 27, not at 26, not at 28. The famous curse completely disappeared once all the data was considered. The reason it feels so convincing is because our memory holds onto the names that support the story, while quietly forgetting the countless musicians who don't. That's called survivorship bias. So, if there isn't a curse, why do so many legendary musicians still die young? The answer is far more human and far more tragic. Many become world famous before they even turn 25. Then comes relentless touring, constant pressure, endless public attention, addiction, depression, anxiety, unlimited access to drugs and alcohol. Long before their careers reach their peak, the pressure becomes unbearable. 27 isn't a cursed number. It's simply an age where years of accumulated stress, trauma, and addiction often reach their breaking point. Ironically, the myth itself may have become dangerous. Many musicians grow up hearing about the 27 Club long before they ever become famous. For vulnerable artists already struggling with addiction or mental illness, becoming part of that legendary list can start to feel almost inevitable, not because the curse is real, but because powerful stories have an incredible ability to shape the way people think, and sometimes the way they behave. So, does the 27 Club actually exist? Yes, but not as a supernatural curse. It exists as one of the most powerful myths in music history, a story born from coincidence, amplified by the media, and cemented by our obsession with finding patterns where none exist. Sometimes the most convincing mysteries aren't built on evidence. They're built on the stories we choose to believe. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of music's greatest legends, make sure to subscribe. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think the 27 Club is nothing more than coincidence, or is there still something we can't explain? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of music's greatest legends, make sure to subscribe.